Okay, we've got everybody here.
Hey, Alyssa.
Hey, Alyssa.
I am trying. I have to use my boyfriend's computer since I don't have one. Zoom is acting weird.
Well, you're here. That's the most important part. Okay, so Francis, if you want to stop screen sharing, we can go ahead and go live.
Just stop screen sharing right now?
Yeah.
I love the hat.
Thank you. Got it in Oregon. Just like a couple months ago, I visited there with my sister. Thought it looked very much like a hat a train conductor might wear.
Yep.
Okay, we'll go ahead and go live here in 3, 2, 1. And we are live. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Looks like we have some people trickling in still, so we'll wait to really get into much until we see the audience pick up a little bit, but we can go ahead and start with our introductions. My name is Colin, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Objective Reality Incorporated, which is, it's got a few different areas that we tackle. So we've got our video game design that we started about 2 years ago. And our first title, The Deed of Deception, is now live on Steam. It's been up for, about 2 months now, a little less? Yeah. Almost 2 months. So we're super excited about that. And then we've also got our newest project, The Abstract, which is our cloud-based VR content delivery system that is going to bring us the VR arcade experience to the cloud. So those are our two main projects. We've also had some work that we've done, if you've seen our YouTube channel, where we created a VR classroom experience during the pandemic to try to help kids feel more engaged in the classroom experience. So a little bit about me. Again, I'm the co-founder and CEO of Objective Reality. Prior to this, I've been in the entrepreneur field for about 20 years. I have some military background as well. My education is in the hospital administration field from Ohio University, so a little different than the field that I end up in here today. But the experience in the entrepreneur world has helped a lot in building the VR arcade business that we own, as well as the design studio that we're currently working with. So from there, I'll pass it off to Johnny, our programmer. He can kind of introduce himself and let you know more about him.
Hello. So, guess the main thing to say is I'm the main programmer of the team, and I graduated from OSU with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Engineering. And so, with a focus on video game design. And so, working here has been pretty much a dream. So, I mean, I've been working here about 2 years. And so I've been basically creating the main game itself. All the various functionality of the game, including, the XR rig that actually gets input from the controllers and the headset so the player can move around in the world. And I've worked on all the things like, smooth moving, teleporting, the interaction of hands grabbing the objects and dropping them, and just overall gameplay logic. And one of the major parts of the game like a key feature is the idea of you have a huge mansion, but every time you play the game, it has a different configuration. So, as you open a door, it picks the next room for you. And so that'll add a lot of replay value because you'll never know exactly how you're going to maneuver through the mansion. And so, I mean, that's the main thing about me.
Yeah, and I'll chime in a little bit too there. So one of the big things, like Johnny mentioned, is this randomizing logic that we created for the Deed of Deception. And as we talk more about the abstract, we'll explain more why that's important in this as well. But we've been able to, over the course of 2 years, build a game that is replayable endlessly, potentially, because every time you play the game, the mansion lays out randomly, and then through the different variations of gameplay through what we call haunts, the game mechanics change every time you play it as well. So you get what that translates to is each time you play the game, it's going to be a different experience. So that's what we set out to do, and again, it's available on Steam right now. So yeah, and then we can go on to Francis.
Hi, I'm Frances Stemuth. I graduated with a bachelor's from Kent State University, Tuscarawas. I graduated with an engineering degree that focused on animation, game, and computer design. I am the senior level designer for the Deed of Deception and the abstract. What that is I go in and make sure everything looks pretty and looks decent in the scenes, and make sure that there's like collisions on everything and everything looks correct, and you guys all have a great experience in the game, and you just have a good, decent experience, I guess.
Yeah, and kind of going back to what we were talking about with the randomizing code, what made Francis's job particularly difficult in the Deed of Deception was that we had to create these rooms in a way that they would kind of piece together no matter how this mansion decided to lay itself out. So being able to think outside the box and figure out how to make these rooms all work no matter where they ended up randomly populating was an interesting task.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alyssa, why don't we introduce you next?
Hi, I'm Alyssa Hassong. I have a bachelor degree from Shawnee State University in gaming and simulation arts, and with a minor in sound design. So I'm kind of like the overall lead artist for the team. I've been working on a lot of the concept art for like characters, scene. I help out with the 3D assets and creating those, and just coming up with like the color palettes to make sure everything's more visually, I guess, visually flows.
Yeah. She is our artist. She makes everything fit together and look really nice. So we have a question here, and it was, will the cloud machines be using RTX cards? And the answer to that is no. We are using what's called the NVIDIA's G4 instances. So it is an NVIDIA product, so similar, but then there's some other things we're doing that help deliver that game content to the end user. I don't know what your experience is with cloud computing, but I guess that's a good segue. We'll go ahead and dive into explaining how this VR game streaming service came to be and kind of more the technical side of it. So the abstract was conceptualized roughly a year and a half ago during the pandemic when nobody could leave their house. So as a VR arcade owner, I had to figure out how to let people play in our arcade when they couldn't physically come in. So working with a company called Virtual Desktop, we were able to get a contract worked out so that we could offer the at-home Quest 2 user access to our in-store computers. So now at that time, it was just people in our community here in Chillicothe, Ohio, that happened to have the Quest 2 headset at home could log in through Virtual Desktop and play our in-store servers here. And then as we started to see the restrictions lifted and a lot of the people able to come back out into the arcade, we still noticed that there was a want to play from home. So we've kept this streaming service going ever since. And about 8 months ago, we started playing around with the idea of not only limiting it to Ohio or to Chillicothe, but to put it into the cloud and allow people to play from all over the world. And so for the past 8 months, we've been building out our cloud infrastructure. And as I mentioned, we use primarily the NVIDIA G4 instances. But then there's some other things that we're doing to help get the experience to people that are outside of the ping rates of the G4 instances. So the way that the AWS cloud is sort of created is there's these nodes all over the country and the world. And in order to have a solid connection to those nodes, you have to be within a certain ping. And what ping is the amount of time it takes your information to get from your headset to that machine. So we have some parameters set that block people from experiencing the abstract without having a certain ping rate. And we're working right now to expand that through what's called edge computing. So I won't get into a lot of detail about what edge computing is or how we're exactly doing that, because that is our intellectual property. So we don't want to give too much away. But it is a way that we're going to be able to package that information and deliver it to people who wouldn't be able to necessarily have a strong connection to the G4 NVIDIA instances. So that's kind of the origin story of how the abstract started. And and now I just wanted to get into sort of what our company looks like, the structure, and how we got to where we are today. So, and don't forget, if you have questions, feel free to send them in the chat and we'll answer them as they come in. But as we mentioned, Objective Reality Games started as a brick and mortar VR arcade business back in 2019. And then obviously a pandemic hit and we had to find other ways to create revenue. So we started the Objective Reality Game Design Studio. And here within the last 4 months, we have incorporated Objective Reality Incorporated. So if you are backing us on WeFunder, you're backing Objective Reality Incorporated. And so what that is, we've moved all of our game design into Objective Reality Incorporated. So you're not only investing in the abstract, which is our cloud streaming service, you're investing in our game design work and any future development projects that we happen to get into as well. So again, that's on WeFunder. If anybody is watching and hasn't seen our WeFunder page. I encourage you to go check that out because right now it is a little bit of a discount on our current valuation. So along with that, we've been picked up by a venture capital firm here in Ohio called Rev1 Ventures, and they are our accelerator partner. So we're super excited about that. And that's what's been getting us the momentum to really bring this to market. And today we have the abstract available here in Ohio. And once we are able to create this content delivery network nationwide, we will roll that out nationwide. And for everyone who has submit the request to be a part of the abstract, as soon as we have it live in your area, I will shoot you the email that says you can go ahead and jump on and help us test it out. So don't think I forgot about you. It's just been a really crazy couple of days as people have really started to hear more about us, and so we'll get to you. We'll get to you shortly. As I mentioned today, we're in beta testing here in Ohio, so it is kind of limited as we have some work to do to get it to where it's really nationwide ready. So we're at our max of open beta testers today, but we will be opening that up for everyone else here, at least in the state of Ohio and surrounding Indiana and such, really soon. Hey, Lord Blackthorns, Evergrow Coin staff and community here. Awesome. Great to see you guys. So with that, after, let's see, I want to look at my agenda and make sure we're on track here. So yeah, let's go ahead, Francis, if you don't mind, why don't you go screen share and we'll share a little bit of the video walk through, and I'll just yell out to pause it here and there so we can talk.
Okay.
And Europe is going to be covered. That is, Europe and Asia are our next two markets that we're going to engage as soon as we get our content delivery network sorted out. Absolutely. Okay, so apologize for the lag. We are doing this over Zoom here, but I just want to make sure everyone can see our playthrough. So this is our social space. Francis, if you want to just pause it for a second. This is our social space. So this is when you load into the abstract, this is where you're going to first load into. And you notice there, before we paused, there was a game called Coffin Rot VR. And that is one of the first partners that we've created in this venture. So the company's called Click Games, and they've created a game called Coffin Rot VR. So what we've done is we've been able to build this game directly into the world, and that's our intention, is that we're gonna, we are content developers. We do make video games, so obviously our games are going to be built into this world as well. But we're reaching out to and have commercial license agreements with about 200 different game designers. So we're going to have all of the popular games that everybody likes. We're going to have, the Beat Sabers and all the games that you're familiar with are going to be here in our cloud-built arcade. And as we move forward, we're going to get these companies like Coffin Rot VR to work with us directly and build the games into the world. So as you're walking around, you're going to run into these games built into the world. And because this is rendered in the cloud, because this is happening all in these massive servers within AWS, all of this content is running all the time. So you're going from the social space into the VR game. You're not going to have lag. You're not going to have load time. It's going to be a seamless transition from the social interaction space into the video game. So while we're on that topic, Francis, maybe you could talk more about how that looks from your end. How when we make these connections with Click Games, how it is that I pass it off to you and you kind of take over.
So when we make connections with other games, we'll make a space for them in the scene, so that way we'll build off and try to make it seamless. We'll take assets and from their games or their style and build off of our scene from the abstract to make a seamless connection from one part to another. So that way it's connecting one group to the next group. So basically you can like seamlessly go from one game to the next. Something like that. And that's
Yeah.
where I get Alyssa's help making these assets.
Yes. If you guys are familiar with our other game, Deed of Deception, it kind of has a different art style. It's more like stylized, more like pastel-y, and we've kind of, and the abstract is a little bit different. It's more like steampunk or cyberpunk kind of style, a little bit more realistic. So we can actually have kind of worked through that and kind of try to make it as seamless as possible from when you're walking from one location to another. So that way it's not like a big jolt of like, oh my gosh, now all of a sudden I'm in like really bright colors and stuff. It's more of going to be like gradual, and that way it's kind of all blends in together.
Yeah. Yeah, and so any of the graphic art that you see, for the Deed of Deception, all of our concept art, that's all Alyssa's doing. So Alyssa does some really great work. Johnny, maybe you could explain why we're looking at this teleporter right here, and how that all kind of works to make this a more seamless experience.
Oh, here we go. Okay, well, because so far, I mean, you can see how impressive the scene looks, but as it turns out, right now it's kind of slow to render, so it's not as smooth as it could be, and so that's why we're gonna essentially design it so that the entire area is split apart into pieces. So you'll have the central hub here, and at the moment we have 4 doorways, one of them to Coffin Rot and one of them to Deed of Deception. And so it's mainly just saving on rendering so that you'll leave the hub and find yourself in the next area. And so essentially, so all the areas don't have to all be rendered at once.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, that's it's a little trick we have to play right now with rendering, because while we are creating this for the cloud, we still have to make sure that it's going to be a seamless experience for the end user. So to accomplish that, until we can figure out a better way to package this up and send it, you're going to have this teleporter here, which is what that big dome looking thing is there with the light in it. And then you're just going to walk right in there, and it's going to pop you into the Coffin Rot area. So Francis, if you want to hit play, we can kind of show them what these other spaces are going to look like. Oh, first person shooters. Yeah. If you know of a game called Zero Caliber, we already have Zero Caliber, and CSGO as well. So we have those two. I guess Arizona Sunshine is considered as first person shooter. So we've got Arizona Sunshine. Matter of fact, objectiverealitygames.com, you'll see a list of the arcade games we have in the arcade. So all of those are going to come over into the Deed of Deception, or into the abstract as well. Oh, we can pause here for a second. So again, this is a little rough because we're doing this through Zoom, but this here is your food ordering window. So as you're in the abstract and you work up an appetite, you can just head over to the food window and log into your favorite food delivery service and order some food right from within the abstract. So that's something that I thought was going to be a fun feature to add. And while we're here, I'll go ahead and bring up why this is important, why our Evergrow partnership is really important to the abstract. And I guess the first thing to mention is that, in this in-world economy, we need to have the ability for people from all over the world to be able to interact and have a fun experience together. And how do we do that when you're using these paid services? So say you want to order food or you want to buy an NFT. In order to make that a really easy system for us to use, it makes it really difficult to use standard fiat or Visa or MasterCard interactions. So being able to break that into a blockchain based economy lets us then take the conversion rates and all of the things that go along with using international currencies and allows it to be just one singular currency within the world, which really helps in making that happen a lot quicker. But Evergrow Coin was the company we decided to go with because, as I think I've mentioned in Twitter, Sam Kelly has a really great vision for where he wants to go with Evergrow Coin. And it's more than just the cryptocurrency, right? Like for everybody that's on here and knows anything about Evergrow, they've got all these other projects. They've got the creator space. They've got, this NFT marketplace, and they've created their own wallet. So we can, with Sam's help and Evergrow's help, we're going to integrate that crypto wallet directly into the interface. And then you'll have access to your wallet throughout the entire gameplay experience. And then we're going to also build in the creator space into the abstract as well. So you're going to be able to access that NFT marketplace. You'll be able to buy master classes. So that's all going to be interwoven into the space and will be the first platform to really take advantage of that Web3 technology and become a blockchain-based, decentralized world. So it's really exciting. It's really exciting stuff. So Francis, if you want to just hit play there.
Sure thing.
One thing I did want to mention, I've noticed the comments on Twitter. We are working on a better website. So, as you can see, we're a team of 5 developers. Steam is our primary platform. So the website, I know that it's important, but we're getting there. So just bear with us. So that wall that you're looking there under the abstract is a little screen. That's going to be linked to Twitch so that you can actually watch tournaments happen in real time right there within the world. Obviously, a big part of the VR arcade experience is the ability to participate in tournaments and win competitions and have this competitive gameplay experience. So we're bringing all of that into the abstract. You're going to be able to compete in tournaments and have weekly challenges. And that's all going to happen with Evergrow Coin's help. So as you win these tournaments, you're going to win cryptocurrency, and then it's just going to be this inclusive economy. Here you see the Evergrow Bank. This is where you're going to be able to have those in-world transactions. Oh, maybe just back it up a hair there, Francis.
Yep, on it.
All right. So this is our central bank within the abstract. So as you decide that you want to purchase, anything through the creator space, as you, decide to buy something from, DoorDash or one of the other food delivery services, you're going to want to load up your balance so that you have the cryptocurrency to back that. And you're going to do that right here at the bank. You don't see them yet, but there's going to be virtual tellers there, and you're going to walk up to the teller and you're going to say, hey, let me load some more crypto onto my account. And then you're going to handle that through a secured wallet integration from Evergrow, and then that'll be in your personal wallet for good. And then one thing that we haven't mentioned yet, we very intentionally designed this space to be secure first and foremost. So all of these interactables that you're putting your information into are only visible to you. So if there was 2 people at that same window, they're not going to see the screen that you see. They're not going to be able to order from your account. So that's, that was our first thought when we started working through this, was to make sure that it was safe and secure. So yeah, and then, you win your tournaments and competitions, and you want to cash out and use that money to, whatever you'd want to use your money for, you can cash that out of the same teller window. We're also going to build in functionality to do some day trading and things later down the road, so you can kind of have like a trading floor where you could swap currencies and things like that. But it's also worth noting that if all you want to do is VR gaming, you don't have to be a part of this at all. So the cryptocurrency integration does not affect the user who doesn't care about cryptocurrency. So if all you want to do is come in and play some games, you're more than welcome to do that. And we've designed the platform first and foremost for the VR gamer. This is not like the other platforms that are out there trying to get going within the metaverse space. We want to go after the market of the VR gamer first and foremost. So again, just so you know that you don't have to be a part of the crypto experience if you don't want to be. And maybe we could hit play here and they can see the rest of our. All right, so now we're getting into the D-Deception. You notice there was a transition there from the city space into the D-Deception. So you're going to walk right up here to the mansion, and then you're just going to load yourself right into our video game, the D-Deception. Same thing with Coffin-Rot. So you'll notice that this is not assets from the game Coffin-Rot. This is assets that we've put into this world to fit the theme of Coffin-Rot. So this is a cemetery. We've got mausoleums and we've got the gravestones and the fog. So this is how we kind of work these games into the world. And now you'll see here that you've got Coffin-Rot. So you're going to go into this mausoleum here, and then you're going to enter into Coffin-Rot. And our biggest priority is to build this platform and then open source it so that other game developers can make content directly for the world. Right now, Coffin-Rot and the D-Deception, they're both standalone games. So you access them as you would through an executable, which means that you're not in the game right here. You're going to go into that mausoleum, you're going to grab that skull, and you're going to load into Coffin-Rot. But as we move forward and we start integrating with more developers, they're going to start building games directly into the world. So that we can continue to have this expansive VR gaming world where you walk through this space and you interact with games as you just kind of make your way around the world. So that's our vision for the future, is that we've created this open world VR space where you can freely walk from game to game to social space. You can interact with the crypto experience if you want to be a part of that. But that's the abstract. That's our little product video of what we've got going on. And then here in a little bit, I'm going to do an intermission and we'll come back and I'll be able to show you what the abstract looks like today. So looking at the agenda here, I just want to make sure that we're still on track. And don't forget that we can take questions if anybody has any other questions. So, okay, this is good. When we talk about integrating crypto and blockchain, and we mentioned how EGC and Crater are this feature that's going to add so much utility to Evergrow Coin and cryptocurrency in general. I think it's also worth noting that we're going to be the first platform to really take advantage of this technology, which is really exciting. And again, Evergrow is really forward thinking in the way that they see the way or the space really build out. And what makes us unique is that, again, we're not trying to follow the footsteps of Mark Zuckerberg or Earth 2 or some of these other platforms that are designing metaverse spaces. what you're going to see in a lot of these other projects is that they are really just running off of the hype of metaverse, and they are not building a space that runs off of cloud computing in the way that we are. So you know, the experience and the content that the player on the Quest 2 device at home is getting is what the Quest 2 device at home can render. And what I mean by that is that you're not going to play Half-Life Alyx. You're not going to play these super graphically intense games without using cloud computing and the cloud graphics engines. And so we came at this from a different perspective. We wanted this to be for the VR gamer. We wanted to be able to deliver those high-end VR arcade experiences that that I've, you know, become really immersed with over the last few years of owning a VR escape room and arcade company. So, you know, I think from coming at it with this different mindset, we're really able to tackle a market that is, one, ready for the technology because they're already VR gamers at home, and two, you know, really just dial in this arcade experience that you can't get unless you live within, you know, driving distance of a VR arcade establishment at your home. So, you know, I think that we're really going to move into a cool space here really soon. And then with that, I think that we'll take a quick intermission, and I will get us a product demo ready, and you guys are going to be able to see us play in the abstract for a minute. All right, we'll see you guys here in just a minute.
the questions over here too.
All right, we are back. And as you see, I've got a headset on here. And so this headset here is the Oculus Quest 2. You can use any headset really. And what you're looking at here is the Abstract server. And this server is about 200-ish miles away. But we're loading into it here from Chillicothe, Ohio on this Quest 2 device just through the internet. Now, the way the Abstract looks today is a little different than what it's going to look here pretty soon. As we mentioned, we're building out this complete immersive virtual world, which is going to have the games built directly into it. But today we have this wall of games here, which you can see. And sorry, it's a little laggy. We've got, again, just trying to run this all through Zoom, which is having some trouble. But this is our wall of games. If I hold my hands up here, I'll be able to show you some of the titles. Blade and Sorcery, Gorilla Tag, Arizona Sunshine, Loco Dojo. One of my favorites, Elven Assassins there. That one's really cool. Dita Deception right there.
Hey, a quick little segue into our game.
Yeah. Revolver is really cool. So again, we're always looking for new content. We are always adding new games. Every month I make it a point to add at least one new title to the arcade. So we've got a lot more titles than what you see here, but this is just what we feel does well today. So Failspace. Now, the way it works today, you highlight a game and you'll see that it's playing a little video of what the game is about. So you'll be able to watch these videos before you pick a game. And now, if we look down here, do you guys see the time running?
Yeah.
Okay, so that shows you how much time you have. You have a few options when you get your Abstract membership. You can either do a pay to play and you get hour time slots, or you can get a membership where you get some time allotted every month and you can use it as much as you want.
We do have a question.
If you're having an issue in the Abstract, you can call for help, and we get that here on our console in store, and we can jump in and give you some help however you need it. And then you can just, let's say we want to play Arizona Sunshine. Come in here and you hit start, and we go right into Arizona Sunshine.
I think we have a question.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see any questions.
It says, will DJI version 2 work?
DJI version 2.
Or V2? I'm guessing that's version 2, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Maybe you could tell us what DJI is, because I'm not, unless you guys are familiar, I'm not super familiar with what DJI stands for.
I don't know what DJI is.
Huh. Is that coming through on Twitch? Because I'm not seeing it on the OBS thing. Yeah, I mean, just let us know what DJI is. I'm not 100% sure myself, but
DJI.
Yeah.
Call of Duty. Someone said.
Call of Duty? Is there a Call of Duty VR I don't know about? Because if there is, I'm gonna kick myself.
You might just be asking if we're gonna have like non-VR.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I did forget to mention that. We are going to have a non-VR compatible version of the Abstract that you can access through our web browser through objectiverealitygames.com. Or actually, we'll probably make it theabstract.com or something to that effect. But that is coming. That is coming by the end of the year. Also, something I forgot to mention with the Evergo partnership, there is going to be a free version of the Abstract accessible, again, through the web browser, through an app on your phone, so that you can access those social spaces and the creator space without a VR headset. But yes, we are going to have the non-VR gaming space as well, so you can play those titles without the gaming PC. So you could get on and play Rainbow Six on your iPad, for instance, and stuff like that. So that's a good question. But so I'll go ahead and wrap it up and pass it off to everybody to say your last thoughts, and we'll call it a night. Yeah,
Thank you.
Johnny, you go first. Tell everybody goodbye.
For watching.
You're muted, Johnny.
That's all good. He said goodbye. He waved, so he said goodbye.
Okay, hello.
Hello
And
and
thank you
goodbye.
guys for watching, and hoping to bring more great games to you soon.
That's right. There we go. So
Francis, say goodbye. All right. Bye. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. You can get all our updates,
And you-
concept art,
And YouTube.
and YouTube. Yes.
And don't
We're-
forget, we have the Deed of Deception on Steam now.
Oh yes, go check that out.
yes,
Thanks
yes.
for all coming.
And I have a closing comment here. I've looked up DJI, and I believe that is a headset brand.
Oh.
Now, it also doesn't look like it would be compatible. So we use in coding, we use what's called OpenXR, and that's the way that we recognize the VR headset that you're using. And through that, you're able to, it'll recognize a Windows mixed reality formatted headset. It'll recognize an Oculus formatted headset. It'll recognize a Steam VR headset. So they really have to run off of those three main platforms. That being said, we're in conversation right now to have our own branded headset, which is an announcement we'll be making here pretty soon that I'm really excited about. But again, it has to be a headset that has gaming capabilities, unfortunately. As we move more into it, maybe we can look at integrating other headsets that just would go in and not game. That's always a possibility. But today it is, again, this is a gaming platform. This is a VR gaming forward space. So we really are catering primarily to the VR gamer. But for the Evergrow crowd specifically, we are designing the space to be non-VR and be able to access via your phone and web browser and gaming, Xbox, etc. So. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining tonight. It's been awesome. Thanks for all the questions, and we'll see you in about a month. Now, I will say next month we're going to have a special guest who's going to be able to talk more about cryptocurrency and blockchain, and really try to break down these stigmas around blockchain technology so that everybody can, get on board and see the future the way that we see it. So, all right. Hey, we'll see everybody. Good night.
Bye.
I have to make sure that I do this with like the